Okay, we are going to talk about three really important topics today. We're going to talk about proper use of hydro, we're going to talk about surveillance radar, and we're going to talk about RPF. Some folks call it RDF. Either way, it's the radio locate captain skill available. I see people misusing their hydro and their radar so often in battle, especially in the lower tiers where people are inexperienced. So let's go into a training battle with Des Moines. And on Des Moines, I have all three skills. I have hydro at 5K, I have radar at 10K, and I have my RPF enabled. Okay, one destroyer coming up. Let's get it going. Okay, first thing you need to take note of are these lines that I have here on my mini map. Those are showing us the perimeter of my radar coverage for this dashed line.
Battle starts.
Which I can enable and disable here by holding down the control key and hitting that gear right above the upper right hand corner of my minimap. You want to enable surveillance radar. You may want to enable your hydro search action range also. I tend not to because it's pretty short, but it does. If it helps you, do that too, because it doesn't get things in the way all that much. Now, the next thing I would like to point out is you don't want to hit your hydro or your radar right away. I see people do that when they're way outside the capture point. You need to get into an area where your radar at least is going to be covering the area that is most likely inhabited by a target. Your primary purposes for these the radar and your hydro is to find targets, especially the destroyers that are hiding out. The second is to warn you for your hydro of incoming torpedoes, but sometimes you can use this real effectively to find targets. I'm going to show you an example of that in a little bit. Now, you notice this smudge that's right above my ship. Mine is blue so that it makes it easier to see no matter what the background. The default is white. I changed mine to blue. You can change it to a variety of other colors. I recommend against the default white. I also recommend against red, but go with something you're going to be able to see and recognize it quickly, because that is going to be a lot easier for you to see. White blends in with the background. Red looks like your damage indicators when somebody's hitting you with shells from somewhere, so it can be mighty puzzling. Now, I use my RPF so that I have a hint as to where the nearest target is. It doesn't tell you how many, it doesn't tell us how far away. Now, I'm going to stop here for a second. And what we see happening right now is the radar circle here, this inner circle, that is showing me the entire radar coverage. Now, this outer one is my detection. So I'm going to keep moving forward until the coming is able to detect me. Now, if I hit my radar right then, it's possible that DD is going to be able to slide away. If he's smart, he's got his stern pointed to me and his bow outbound where he could take off and leave. I want to keep moving forward until I stay detected for a little while, and that way I am able to get shells on him. So I'm using my RPF to find the direction where he is. I'm using my own detection to get an idea of just how close I am to him, because if you press the H button, you can see your detection is at 10.9. So my radar only goes out to 10. So if I am detected, I don't want to hit it too quickly. Now, I did not enable the bot to have weapons or the ability to move. Okay, I am detected. Now at this point, if I have to worry about incoming torpedoes, this is when I'm going to hit my hydro. If I'm in a safe spot where I don't feel I need to worry about hydro torpedoes coming at me, I won't use my hydro just then. But I waited until I thought I might have to worry about torpedoes, and then I'm swerving side to side to disrupt his torpedo targeting. Okay, at this point I'm going to hit my radar. I've been detected long enough. And there he is. Now I can get shells on the target. Now, my radar only lasts for about 40-45 seconds. So it's a good idea for me to warn my team that I'm going to use my radar so that they can be ready. Now, keep turning. Don't just keep going in a straight line, or else either your target or enemy ships are going to be shooting at you too. And you don't want to give him the ability to get some torpedoes on you. Whoops, dropped my mouse there for a second. Okay, he's down. Alright, so the key elements. Don't use your radar right away. Save it until after you've been detected for a little bit. And if you haven't been shooting but you're detected, then realize that you have to give him a little bit of time to get into your range. Might be giving him time to get away also, but if he goes away, then more than likely he's not continuing to detect you either. So you have to play that little guessing game. Don't use your hydro unless you're worried about torpedoes or if you're trying to detect somebody. So let's bring up another ship that is really quite good at this type of situation. We're going to bring in the Loy Yang right now. Alright, sorry, we're trying out a new port that I found on the Aslane's website list of mods, the full moon, and it looks pretty cool, but it's hard to see your ship. So anyway, Loy Yang, she is famous for being able to sit in smoke, run a 5K hydro, 5.5K hydro, and pop shots at somebody that's trying to sit in their own smoke or maybe even try to rush in. So Okay, I want to keep that the same way it was. Just put me as a destroyer versus a destroyer. Okay, this time we have the Oland, another tier 8, so particularly good choice here. Now, again, you're going to see the value of RPF because I do have RPF enabled. I oftentimes make that my first level 4 commander skill. Sometimes if I have a little bit of trouble with my concealment, I'll go for that first, and most people would, but I find RPF so valuable.
Action stations.
So the Kunming is going to be pretty much in the same place where we found him with the Des Moines. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to keep pushing in and try to get into that 5.5K range. So when I look at the Oland, it's not the Kunming, it's the Oland this time. If you push the tab key, then you can see what the other ship's capabilities are. Now, the Oland's detection is 5.8. My detection is also 5.8, so I need to push in past where I'm detected, but I'll do that as quickly as I can. And if I nose into him, then when I run my smoke, then I'm going to have to turn a little bit sideways so I can get the most guns on him. Ideally, I would be coming up behind him where he can't torp me, but this is going to be nose to nose, more or less. I'm going to turn out just a little bit here so that my guns will be more capable of being used effectively, more effective. Oland's torpedoes are so fast that if he were to use them and get them away on me, I'd be in a bad situation at the range we're talking about. But if I'm aimed right at his nose or at his stern, then he can't do much. Okay, you can see when I hit control and click on the gear above the mini map that my hydro search is enabled, and it is at 5.5K. We see that circle right inside my detection circle. Okay, I am veering off from where I wanted to be here. As soon as I detect him, there we go. Now he should be detecting me, except that because he's a bot, he doesn't have all of his captain skills enabled. So I've got to push in past the 5.8 anyway. So now we can see each other. That would be normal. Now I'm inside the 5, so I'm going to hit my smoke.
Started.
A little bit slow doing that. Normally I'd have been a little quicker. Now I can't see him, neither can my team, but now I'll hit my hydro and I can see him just fine. Now, in a real battle, he's either going to be trying to back away from me, he's going to try to go sideways to me and torp me, he's going to be rushing me, something. I would be moving backwards, forwards. I would have spread out my smoke a lot better. In this case, I'm just taking my shots at him. Now you can see that RPF is not pointed directly at him. It's a general direction. Oh. Oh, I backed out of my smoke. Well, that was dandy. I automatically put myself in reverse and then wasn't paying attention to it. Okay. There we go. I probably would have taken a few shots I didn't need to. Okay, so those are two examples of when and how to use hydro. One to detect possible torpedoes, the other to detect a target and fire upon it. Now I'm going to show you a battle that I had last night that was a particularly good use of hydro. I cannot take full credit for it. There's a lot of credit given to the positioning of my team and the poor situation the enemy put himself into. Okay, so in this battle, we are a Tier 6 ship, the Nuremberg German cruiser, with good range on her main guns, real fire starter, very poor armor. She has 6-kilometer torpedoes and 6-kilometer hydro. We have 4 destroyers on our side. They have 3 on theirs. They filled in with 3 cruisers while we have 3. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 battleships. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 battleships. Each of us has an aircraft carrier.
Awaiting instructions.
Now, since we spawned over on the Alpha Cap, I'm going to head over toward the rocks, the island that's on the far left side, because Nuremberg cannot allow her to get spotted very easily. Now right away, one of the enemy DDs, the Jupiter 42, is saying he hates this ship. And our Haida, who's on my side, is saying, really? He says, it sucks to fight against. In other words, he's kind of boasting a bit. He thinks he's got the world at his beck and call here, that this is going to be easy. Well, we'll see. The Jupiter is a Tier 7 destroyer. Haida has a good sense of humor. Alright, now I am detected. I was not detected by that Omaha. My detection range, I believe, is at 10.9. So that means their DD can see me. And there he is, and it is the Jupiter. Alright, so I'm angling away. Jupiter is going to sit there and smoke up, and when he does, he was the only thing detecting me, because he was the only thing in range. So now I can turn in. I see the Colorado has shells coming at me. Really good thing to be watching for is battleship shells coming your way, because in Nuremberg, Omaha, and some of the other light cruisers that I like to play, like the Mainz, you have to be ready to dodge. Okay. They can see me now, but I'm going to go behind an island where they won't be able to here real soon. Now, Haida is like our Loy Yang. He has smoke and he has hydro. Oh, well, okay, I switched over to AP and I put a clocking on that Omaha, who should have turned away, gone behind an island, turned in at least. not let me just shoot at his broadside. Okay, well, unfortunately, my Nuremberg is brand new, so I do not have RPF. However, I do have really good hydro. And
Attention.
I
Reporting a
had
target
a
position.
suspicion that Jupiter was coming around this way, and now I've got him in my hydro. He's detected our kamikaze, and our Haida are able to get shells onto him. And now it looks like he wants to come around this direction. Yep, he's running right into me. He was not realizing that I was the one hydroing him. I think he thought it was going to be Haida. Okay, now I am detected, and New York is going to be able to get shells on me here, so I have to be dodging and shooting at the same time, but we've just about got this Jupiter down. And there he is. Okay.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
So that takes care of that one. And so we go on and win this battle pretty easily. Jupiter's kind of unhappy about his situation, but you know, the reality is that a lot of people would have sat outside the cap and maybe saved their hydro until they were trying to push into the cap. Instead, I was able to get into a position where I was able to get my hydro on him. Now, some ships don't have that great a hydro range. The German cruisers do. Some of the other hydro-bearing ships that you have to worry about are like the Loyang, the Haida, that have 5.5K radar. Most cruisers that have hydro have at least 5K, although some of them only have 3 or 4K, in which case it's more defensive. The British destroyers are short-range hydro, I believe as low as 2.5K. So I would tend not to try to rush somebody with that hydro, but it's helpful for when you're sitting in smoke for a little bit and you're trying to figure out if somebody's throwing torps at you. Every once in a while, somebody will smoke up and you can rush their smoke and catch them with your hydro, and then that helps your team to put shells onto them too. But my two main purposes for hydro are detection of torpedoes so that you can avoid them, and detection of enemy ships when you can safely fire at them or give your team a chance to fire at them.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Radar
Torpedoes to starboard.
is for detecting ships, especially enemy ships that are sitting in the cap. Every once in a while, I use it to see if there's a threat coming up behind me. One battle that I had recently in clan battles when in Des Moines was where I had a battleship creeping up behind me, and I needed to know just where he was, see if I needed to push up and put myself in danger from the cruisers, or if I could stay right where I was. Turned out I did have to push up. But the other one was the RPF, which I don't have on this ship, but it's a very, very good tool for you to use to know the general location of the nearest enemy. Again, it doesn't tell you how many or how close or how far away, just that there's somebody near to you. But that is a really good tool to have, and as soon as I can afford it on this ship, I will be getting it. I am running Luchins as my captain. He's new to me though, so he only has 10 points, and because of the nature of the Nuremberg, and she's so fragile that I had to go ahead and go for concealment uh, before I could get RPF. I'm just watching that Kamikaze and Haida are going to work over there. It's nice. Anyway, you can see we are way ahead here, so all I'm going to be doing is chasing after ships that are pretty much out of my range at this point. So let's fast forward this one just a little bit, and
Our team has taken the lead.
we'll catch the end of it.
Our victory
I don't
is
actually
in
think we lose any more ships here. We'll finish off that CV, and we got the job done. Okay, so that was Nuremberg. Good example of using hydro and spooking somebody out of their smoke. Fortunately for me, I was able to spook him right into me and be able to finish the job myself. All right, well, I hope that helps understand some of the ins and outs of using hydro, radar, and RPF. So, see you in the game.